Okay guys, so I just fired up the Ironhead Sportster 1000cc. I rode this home about probably nearly 2 weeks ago now. The first time I've started it. I think it sounds brilliant. So we'll just take it for a little ride around the block and see how we get on. Gotta get used to it. It's a lot different from the Fat Bob, I can tell you that. Extremely loud with these drag pipes. Something else I can tell you about it is something else I can tell you about this bike is that new brake pads fitted. On the front, and they're not bedded in yet, so that's really not much brake at all. These mirrors I can't see absolutely nothing in, so I'm going to have to flip them, I think, swap them over and put them under the bars, but that'll be later. Back brake's pretty good. It's only a 4-speed, which they were originally. We believe it's had some cam work done. It's a little bit lumpy in low speeds. It feels like I just want to go. But like I say, it's a lot different to the Fat Bob. Could say it feels like a lot of noise, not a lot of go, but the guy I bought it off said kind of like being tuned for drag anything, because when you open it up, I really want to go. Hopefully this front brake's going to get better. It's a lot taller than the Fat Bob. Well, it feels it anyway. Got no indicators, so it's hand signals only. There is some indicators what came in a box with it, but they got taken off in the process of doing some work on it. And with the age of it, you don't have to have them, so I don't know whether I'll put them back on or not. The pegs are like mids, and I know I won't be able to ride long like this, but luckily it's got some like highway bars. Which I will try in a little while. Like I'm still getting used to it. Also, you have to give this back brake anyway if you touch the front brake, because there's no switch for the brake light on the front. Yeah, I can't see a lot at all in these mirrors. Well, it's fun to ride, I'll tell you that. I'm not going to go too far today. It's like my first time I've rid it, like I say, apart from riding at home. Now, it was actually raining when I rid at home. What I'm going to do, I'll find somewhere to stop in a minute. I'm going to do a little walk around it. It's a noisy beast. Well, I love it. Put my hand out because I'm going right here. Seems really strange. It's not so heavy as my other bike, of course, which is good. Seem quite close to the bars. Listen to that. Right, let's just stop on here. Looks as good a place as any, doesn't it? Although it's not light bike, it's not really heavy. Get it in neutral. Just stand down. Let's have a little walk around. What do you think? 1979? It's alright, isn't it? I'll just point out some of the stuff what I know has had done. I'll start at the front. Like I said, it's had new brake pads, it's had new bushes in the caliper. The mudguard's been painted, it's had new fork seals. Still a few places what need cleaning up, but I can do all that later if I bother. I might just leave as it is. It's an old bike. Might clean it up a bit more, I'm not sure yet. I need to flip these mirrors like I said. It's got like an aftermarket oil filter on it on the outside, where normally on these They were just inside in the tank, so that's good. Brand new tyres. That was another thing, I was being a bit careful when that was wet when I rode it home. I can't remember whether he said new pads in the back or not. I don't think so. I think he said they got enough meat on them. There's several things he done. Like I say, he painted the tank, painted the mud guards, all the metal work, the covers on here. The oil fill is under here. You actually have to take this panel off to get to the oil fill and dipstick. But that's nothing to worry about. Just make it more slick really. Like I say, short time I've had it, I'm liking it. Well, that was oil there, it's just a bit of water probably lying there from when I rid it home in the wet. Just stood in the garage. I don't think that chain's very old. Looks a bit close to the tyre, doesn't it? But is what it is. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting out on this a few times. Hopefully get Gav out on his Sportster. He's 883 and we'll go for a few ride outs. Might even get out to a couple of Harley meets with the Harley Club this year, we will see. Well, I'm going to switch it off and see what it's like at restarting. So I'll kill it. Turn the ignition off. Yeah, it's definitely a noisy beast. But like the guy said, he's only rid it a few times. Nice guy. He bought it off an importer who brought it into England. Can't remember where it said it come from. Ohio, I believe. Not sure about the mileage. I think it says 27,000. You just don't know, do you? That 21 miles is where I naughted it off when I brought it home. That was more than that. When I stopped, I just naughted it off before I pulled away again, so I was probably not far from home when I did that. But I'll leave that now, and it's kind of like since I've had it and 70 miles I do. I might have to use that to work out how much fuel is going to get me how far in the future, because it's quite a small tank for a big engine. Yeah, I can't think of anything else at the minute. Oh yeah, it's got electronic ignition inside there. We think it's had bigger cams. The ignition is one of those adjustable ones for like advancing it. It feels a bit lumpy low down, so I'm guessing it's set up for giving it some. So at one stage I probably will, but not at the minute. Like I say, I'm just getting used to it. Right, let's switch it back on and see how it fires up. I don't fancy pushing it I can tell you that now. Need to stop and get some fuel really. Here it goes. Well, that fired up alright, doesn't it? I think that's what I'll do now. I'll ride down the road here to the local, there's a Tesco garage down the road here. I'll put some fuel in it. That's a good idea. This year on these Ironhead models, they had slightly larger forks. I think they're like 2 inches longer, and they've got a bit of a rake on them. So when I stop, that is quite a drag on their handlebars. It's come with a sissy bar, and the rear pegs were taken off the sissy bar. These I did put back on this morning, but I haven't tried them out yet. I will do as I'm riding it. Right, let's get down the garage and get some fuel. ticks over nice and slow, which I like. I don't think you want it too slow. I'm hoping these front brakes should get better. Oh, do you like the tank? He obviously did this when he painted the tank. I think it looks quite cool. Tell you what, you can go quite slow in top gear and just pull out, which is nice. Quite a stiff old bike, but if I remember right, my last Sportster I had was this why the missus didn't like coming on the back of it. But hey ho. I don't think she'll come on this anyway. There's neutral, eventually. The guy I bought it off, he did say to me, it drags a little bit, so you need to try and get it into neutral before you actually stop. That's just something else I need to get used to, really. That's strange. Let's see what's going on here. No, it says it's in neutral. Well, this is good. Just pulled into the garage, filled it up with fuel, tried to fire it up, and I don't really want to know. First of all, the problem was the starter was just clicking. I just kept pushing it, waiting and pushing it. Suddenly that connected. It did fire up. I went to tweak the throttle and it stopped. Now it won't fire up again, so I'm going to leave it a few minutes and just see what happened, I did turn the throttle, maybe it's flooded. The guy did tell me that sometimes if you pull that throttle a little bit, that does squirt a lot of fuel down into the intake and it will flood it. So it might be just what's happened. But we'll give it a few minutes and then I'll try again. Like I say, it's all new to me, this bike. Well guys, fired up in the end, just put the fuel on. Like I say, I ain't had this bike 5 minutes and I'm going to find out all the little things that it likes. That's why I don't want to go too far from home, for a little while anyway. To start a business I might have been able to bump start it, but it's a little bit temperamental till I can find out this bike likes to run. I need to be a little bit careful. All good fun. Yeah, and front brakes still need bedding in. So I think what I need to do is just ride it locally for a little while. Like I say, get used to it. What it likes, what it don't like. I've had cars the same. You get used to how they like to start, what they do like, what they don't like. But I've lent them to someone else and they've had loads of problems. You say, what are you on about? You need to do this, do that, just turn this. And I think that's what it's going to be like with this old bike. Shall I get used to it? I did get rain this afternoon, first thing this morning, but I looked on the app, that's later tonight now, which is good because it gave me time to get out on this, which I'm liking. I must admit I was worried for a few seconds there. It's a bit weird without the indicator there because I couldn't really stick my arm out when I was going around that corner, but it's got to be very cautious of that. think this front brake's getting a bit better already. I mean, that's double discs on the front, so they should be pretty good. Right, there's a GG or a horse just down the left here. I don't want to give it too much and frighten it. Just up here it went. There's a lot of horses right this way. That's only 30 mile an hour anyway. You won't want to go much faster around these roads. I can tell you. This bit you could probably open up if you wanted. I have done on my other bike, but this time of day there could be some horses coming out of any of these fields. And there's like a hidden turn in there where I want to turn left. I feel like I'm getting more used to this all the time. Still like better in this front brake. There aren't many bikes where you can say the back brake is better than the front. I will say everything feels a little bit strange in a minute. But it's bound to, innit? Definitely not a lot of suspension there, is there? Not compared with a soft tail. I think as well, with many Harleys, stuff's coming loose. And I think with this one being apart recently and put back together, we have to keep an eye on all the nuts and bolts and make sure everything's good in that respect. So I've got to run back to mine now, which isn't far from here, as you know. Right, a couple more of these corners. Get the old hand signal going. So like I say, I'm nearly back to mine. I'm going to leave this video here, and there'll be plenty more rides on this, and hopefully I'll get more used to it and the way it runs. Who knows? Just have to see how we get on. But that was great. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you all in the next one, guys. Bye for now.